Well, hey there, and welcome back for another Secondhand Opinions video. I'm Jason Alderman, the internet's favorite fat mouth, fat ass, bringing you fat stacks of fucked facts. And I guess, thankfully, somehow, technology decided to shit on me and save you half an hour's worth of 4K video footage. So I'm gonna start shooting in 1080 so I don't have so much trouble shuffling things back and forth. I'm sure I can go back and pull it down and drag it out. It's just gonna take me hours, so I figured I'd reshoot it instead. So, topic number one, I guess, will be from my home state. Governor Kate Brown of Oregon decides to shut down all sit-in restaurants. And I don't think that's terribly a bad idea that you stay the hell out of sit-in restaurants for a number of reasons. Not only does it, in theory, exacerbate your chances of catching this sickness, but it also exacerbates your opportunity of being the victim of some sort of false flag ridiculousness that the left end and the deep state just can't seem to stop. The constant false flag attacks on American community in an effort to hurt Trump and Trump supporters and those people who did not vote their way. And if you look every step of this way, they not only made a plan for this, and Where We Go One, We Go All made a video tonight talking about a bunch of Q posts that showed up tonight and kind of connecting them together and talking about how they planned, like when they were running real numbers on whether or not Donald Trump was going to win or whether Hillary was going to win. They all knew that Donald Trump was going to win in a landslide. And because they knew it, they started coming up with insurance policies. What is Where We Go One, We Go All's video? I think he calls it contingency plans. And in that list of contingency plans are things like natural disasters. And if you go and look at the frequency of natural disasters that hit America over a 10 to 15 year period, you'll notice there's a trend of one disaster every so often. Things kind of keep plugging along, but nobody really has to deal with more than one or two of them in their presidency. Donald Trump has a timeline fraught with continual natural disasters, from the wildfires and hurricanes and earthquakes and floods and all, just non-stop, constant barrage. So that kind of tells you that they know how to make disasters happen. Just randomly, sporadically, global warming's been a thing, but all of a sudden, as soon as Donald Trump takes his presidency, global warming has caused natural disaster after natural disaster after natural disaster based on their plan of attack? No. I may be kind of nutty, but I'm not stupid and crazy. So, another thing they talked about was different ways that they could attack the economy, and they've tried a lot of those. As soon as Trump took office, they had riots. Antifa, for at least a year, was escalating violence on the streets constantly, non-stop, constant violence on the streets. And those who took to the streets in the patriotic notion of defending our society from this behavior, unfortunately, were the ones who paid the cost. They're the ones who paid the price, and like Joey Gibson, etc., ended up having to deal with jail time. I don't know if he went to jail or not, but he went to court over defending himself from some of these abusers. So we saw the riots, and we saw the zero give a fuck. They didn't care. They escalated Antifa riots nationwide and worldwide until people here in Portland started shooting at random problems they were creating. The Antifa had gotten so full of themselves in a certain neighborhood here in Portland that shots were fired. So that tells you that they're willing to escalate this thing right up until it spins out of fucking control, and then they want to back off and take their hands off of it like they didn't have nothing to do with it. Antifa, let's stir up Antifa, let's stir up Antifa. Oh shit, gunshots. It was them, not us. Yeah, we don't believe that either. And on that list of things that they talked about was Zika virus, an improved strain of Zika virus they wanted to release on the American populace. Seems kind of funny. We're going through what, in my opinion, is an improved strain of coronavirus loosed as a weapon intentionally from Xi Jinping onto his people with the intention of spreading it around the nation. And I don't mean their nation, I mean our nation. Or was it November 15th? They held the impeachment off until November 15th. The very same day patient 1 in America showed up coming from China. The very same day that the very guy who brought the sickness here to America is here is the day they start impeachment. I wonder why they wanted you and me and everybody distracted. Wonder why they wanted the whole ball of wax wrapped up in Donald Trump's impeachment and bullshit sham. I wonder why they wanted to put him on the stand over a phone call that had no problems in it. They invented bullshit on top of bullshit, and they fabricated bullshit and whispers in the dark of bullshit, but none of it was real. All it did was cover up the fact that the first guy with the sickness was showing up here in America. So more and more evidence is coming out showing that China turned this virus loose on America with the intention of damaging Donald Trump's political gains, economic gains, etc., with the intention of hiding Joe Biden and his gaffomatic grandpa self, get him off the fucking screen because we need a good excuse to hide him so that he can only, I'm in agreement with a lot of the Q folk that whether Joe Biden's insanity is real or it's fabricated for the camera, his decline, if you will, isn't relevant. Whether it's real or it's fabricated isn't important. The important fact is that you see it, that you anticipate that there will be a change. And somebody else wrote a paper that said something about Bernie Sanders had bowed out and that makes Joe Biden the likely candidate. Well, guys, if you didn't already have a plan, you wouldn't use the term likely. So here's where Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton are going to come storm the stage. I bet you what's going to happen is that Joe Biden is going to endorse Hillary Clinton as his VP. And then we're going to go all up in arms of scuttlebutt about the idea that Hillary will have backdoored her way into the presidency and we'll all have known it. And they're going to cover that up with Michelle Obama and we're supposed to cheer. No. We've all been calling this shit from the get-go. We know where we're headed. Let's all quit pretending like we don't know. Let's all quit playing the game with them. They have walked us hand in hand by the nose, eyes closed, down this road the entire way. They have made every action an attack. Worst thing is they're not just attacking Donald Trump. They're attacking you, and they're attacking me. They're attacking our children, our future, our way of life. Everything we plan for our future is irrelevant. They're already making machinations to profitize your life and death. And that's all they care about. I was talking to my lady earlier today. If you haven't noticed by now, it's a good time for me to point this out, because pretty soon I'm going to stop talking about Q stuff altogether. You guys should be able to see this shit for yourselves. And if you can't see it, you're blind and you want to be blind and stupid. If you're not blind and want to be blind and stupid, then you're evil and fucking insane. That's it. The only reason to support the people who keep trying to kill you is that you are evil and insane. You can't claim to be unaware. You can't claim to not have seen this 3 years of pattern already. Let's talk patterns. Okay? Patterns are proven the third cycle. First, it's a coincidence. Second time, it's possibly a pattern, but again, it's a coincidence. You look for the third opportunity because the third time a cycle repeats itself, it's guaranteed a pattern. When you notice that every single political interaction becomes shake the money tree. Let's see how much money we can shake out of the government system, how much money we can shake out of the taxpayers and abscond with. How much can we embezzle? How much can we launder? As soon as there is a product to be made in Congress, there are people in Congress trying to pilfer the finances of the product. Period. Why else would Pelosi try to pork barrel in a buttload of Green New Deal shit and illegal alien voter registration bullshit and vote by mail bullshit? Why are they trying to sweetheart deal in all of their shit juxtaposed your children's safety and security and future? Yeah, the stimulus relief bill, the coronavirus CARES Act bill. Why would the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi and group, hold it back several times and demand that their sweetheart deal bullshit be added to this thing that helps no one, doesn't help the virus be fought, doesn't help medical staff be fighting it, doesn't help the people dealing with this economic shutdown over nothing. Over fucking nothing. This whole flu and virus bullshit was blown out of proportion and weaponized as fear to make us all behave, get in line. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson said something about a grand new experiment to see if humanity will listen to scientists. Well, I heard that. I heard him say, see if we will listen to him. And what I heard in my mind was not what I heard in my ear. My ear heard, see if we will listen to scientists. And my brain translated it to, see if you will do what I fucking tell you to do, peons. So if you're down with this whole thing, man, you gotta understand you are the evil. Whether you are just stupid or corrupt doesn't matter anymore. So, Bernie Sanders is out. His Bernie bros are going to riot again. The sickness was fake, and it's shown to be fake. And it's shown and got to be proven to be a huge fucking lie. Worse, the lie was the most damaging part of this weaponization of the sickness, and it was weaponized. It's too coincidental that all these new sicknesses keep coming out of China every 4 years or so. Whether it's H1N1 or the bird flu, swine flu, coronavirus, it doesn't matter. They keep producing illnesses and attacking the planet with them. I think it's long past time we did something about that. I figure if China can't figure out how to play nice with others, then we need to take away their toys, put them in the corner for a while and ground them. And by take away their toys, I mean like Google allows them access to piggyback on their satellites. So why don't we find the hell out of Google until they stop letting China use their toys? Take away China's toys. They're using these satellites to control their populace. You know they're doing great things by the Muslims in their communities, right? So, if you haven't figured out by now that we're all under attack, And it ain't a foot soldier invasion like Hugh says. Think infiltration, not invasion. They put people like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar into the government with every intention of being sacrificial fodder. They walk in with a sullen space, and then they realize, I can get away with this. I can do all of this. I can have a full career here, and they're going to pay me to fuck up their government. They're going to pay me to do the wrong thing by them every single time. Quit listening to the mainstream media, people. Turn off the CNN. Turn off the TV. If you notice, I don't own one. There's no TV in my house. I don't want cable. In fact, when I got the internet hooked up, they demanded that I get cable with my internet. I told them no. They continued to demand. I told them no. The lady said she wouldn't help me if I wouldn't get TV and internet. I said, then I'll go with the other guy. And I called them back the next day. I talked to somebody else. I said, are you willing and allowed to give me internet with no TV? The lady started down the spiel of, I want to give you TV and internet. I expressed to her that would require I bought a fucking television. And I'm not going to do that. So do not supply me with a product I have no interest in and no ability to use, whether it's cheaper or not. I don't want cheaper internet at the cost of you piping your propaganda into my living room. But they were adamant about it, until I told them that I'll just go with a competitor. And they finally accepted my money. That should tell you something. Why is the Democrat side of the government always like this? You'll take what I say is good for you. You'll do it or you won't get any help at all. Green New Deal or no money for the fact that you're out of work and your kids are about to go hungry. Illegal aliens get the right to vote and access to free medical and all the money and the stipends from the stimulus bill and all that jazz. Otherwise, you as Americans don't get anything. That was Nancy's gambit. She held it up to try to put pressure on Donald Trump. And the real deal is, it was her holding the carrot over the head of the people, expressing to the president, if you don't give in, if you don't bend the knee, if you don't give me access to laundering millions, then Americans are going to die. And we'll say it's your fault. Aren't you tired of this? Aren't you just fucking sick of being lied to? Aren't you tired of looking the other way while they blatantly run to shake the money tree at every given opportunity? People are dying. Give me money. Well, we have new negotiations. Give me money. We want to make a new trade deal. Fuck you, give me money. We want to stop people from bringing drugs into the country. Fuck off and give me money. We want to stop people from bringing illegal aliens into the country. Fuck off and give me money. We have illegal aliens dressing up and getting into old pickup trucks trying to pretend to be construction workers on the wall. And when they get caught by California Border Patrol, they get shot at by these illegal aliens. But fuck you, give me money. I want the open border so I can get my free surf class of people who don't matter, so we can keep the slave trade going on, so we can keep the child trafficking going on, so we can keep funneling these poor kids off to be manufactured into adrenochrome. They don't care about you. They don't care about your children. They don't care about your future. They don't care about your family. They don't even care about their families. You know how I fucking know that's a fucking fact? If any of them gave a flying shit about their families, they'd say, hey, Mrs. Biden, get your husband off the stage. But his family's pushing him up there, No, no, Joe, we need you to be alive so that you can be up there and be the reason that you bow out and give it off to Hillary and give it off to Michelle. They're playing you for fools. They think that we're idiots too. We know better. But some of you fuckers are just determined to be evil. Well, Bernie bowed out. I got a feeling he's going to hand his delegates off to Trump. Why? Because his group keeps shitting on him. He's going to teach them a lesson. He quit campaigning because he's 300 delegates under. And he's going to keep running on this space, though, so that he can keep collecting his money. That's one of his goals, is to get as much money in the coffer as possible. He knew he was going to fuck this up a month ago, but he stayed in. So that tells me he's off to try and get your money. Go make your donations to Bernie Sanders. You want your free shit, don't you? But when the DNC continues to fuck him over, and they will, he's going to hand the power over to Donald Trump. He's going to turn his back on them and stab them right in the back. Because they have been stabbing him in the back for 8 years. Or more. They stabbed him in the back last election. They're going to stab him in the back this election. Already have. He's not going to get another run at the presidency. He's too old, too fucked up. So they stabbed him in the back twice. You don't think that's going to come with a cost? I bet you Bernie there hands his delegates over to Donald Trump as a big fuck you to the group that choked him out. So, guys, I'm going to quit covering most of the Q stuff after this because it's gotten to the point where you should be able to see for yourself what's going on. I mean, anybody who's been following along with QAnon for a minute can pretty much just assume if it comes out of the Democrat corner, it's a lie, and it's an opportunity to steal money, and it's a chance to fuck people over and hurt Americans. That's all they've done. 3 years, that's all they've done. Attack at Donald Trump and try to hurt you. Now it's coming out that they coordinated, if not colluded, with China to turn this virus loose and to set it off on America. How do you feel about that, America? How do you feel deep down inside, knowing that if you're a leftist or a Democrat and you voted for these people, they literally tried to fucking kill you? And they don't give a shit. And the response when you tried to not die was, well, give me money or we're going to let you die anyway. Well, let's not talk about hydroxychloroquine and the zithromycin. No, no, no. Even though some dipshit senator got caught, he made it illegal for doctors in his state to prescribe it for coronavirus and then hoarded the medicine himself. Don't you get it? The only reason he would do that is if he knows it's good medicine, that it will save him and his family. And then he demands that if you're sick, you don't get it. And he tells doctors, if you prescribe it, I'll take away your license. The only reason to do that is to let you die, in the hopes that you will suffer as much damage as possible so it looks bad on Donald Trump. Your life is a poker chip, and a cheap one at that. The lives of your children are $1 gambling chips at the circus. And this is a big circus. Time to tear the tent down around these clowns. Brandon Straka, I'm sure, has a whole host of new walk-away people. The Democrats are done. The Democrats as a party are devoid of politicians and are now just full of cabal members. And I got a feeling, well, we just saw like 6 or 8 Q drops tonight. After what? 10 days of darkness? We had, was it Melania Trump's tweet about the 5th column, the blue 5th column of the White House. I get the feeling that's about to topple down. Not the White House, that blue 5th column. I get a feeling a lot of folks involved in a lot of stuff are about to get a lot of caught. And I just hope this all wraps its way back to Epstein, Joe and Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, on back to her husband being president. George W. Bush, they're all in on it. There hasn't been a right American president, in my opinion, since Ronald Reagan. Part of this scam goes back a long ways. They planned all of this. They planned this back in 1998, 99. They were making machinations to get this stuff moving back then. And like I said in a video a year ago or so, win or lose, the game doesn't change, people. Escalations against you and I will continue to happen. I'm scared that one of the things I called out is about to come to pass. We had a moment where Shifty Shift came on the social medias and talking about how only trained professionals can climb this high. And then a train operator tries to run his rig off the rail and crash it into the hospital ship in LA. Now, just the other day, Hillary Clinton came out talking about how, while we're all locked down in quarantine, you should check out this new movie that's about to be streaming called Slay the Dragon. Well, I remember back in the early days, Kanye West was a supporter of Donald Trump, and one of the things that he mentioned quite a few times is that him and Donald shared dragon energy. I don't think Hillary wants to rub out Kanye West. I don't think that's the dragon she's talking about. Well, alrighty, guys. Let's all keep pretending like our opinions matter. Leave that shit in the comments below. But remember, this is YouTube, so